Hello, 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 everybody in the Moving Beyond Fear Facebook community. Chelsea here, coming to you live today. Hi. My camera was doing something really funny a minute ago, and so I got off and got back on. So hopefully everything's working now. So if you're joining me live, say hello, connect with me. The only way a lot of us can connect with people is virtually. So if you are here live with me, say hi, let me know you're here. I'm going to wait a moment. Oh, I have a lot going on today. I haven't officially announced it, but we're kind of in the process of trying to buy a house. So right before I came on live, we had our lender calling, and so I'm kind of like, whew, a little bit split energy. So why don't we actually just start this training today with grounding ourselves. So if you're joining me live, try this, or even on the replay. Let's just take a nice deep breath. Feel the support and the verticality of your spine. Yes. Feel your feet on the ground. Let's just ground our energy. Hey, Lisa. I need to ground my energy. Hi, Aina. Hi, everybody. All right. So I wanted to do a bonus live. I had this idea over the weekend, and I wanted to do a bonus live today because I haven't come live in a while and I miss connecting with you all. So today I want to talk about something that I've talked about before. You've probably seen me mention it on Instagram, but I've talked about before how love is not found. Amazing love is not something we stumble upon and find. Love is built. Love is something we have to cultivate. And a lot of times ROCD tries, hey Petra, ROCD tries to convince you that love is found with the right person. If you're having conflict in your relationship, if you're feeling doubt or fear and anxiety in your relationship anxiety and OCD will try to convince you that it's because you're with the wrong partner. And if you could just have the right partner or a better partner, then love would be so easy. Then love would come effortlessly. Then you wouldn't have all of these doubts and fears. Anyone have that? Let me know in the comments while I get a drink of water. Does your ROCD try to convince you that you feel the way you feel because you're actually with the wrong partner, or you need to find a better partner, and then love would just be effortless and feel so much easy? Hey, can't stay long because I'm at work. Yes, you can watch the rest later. Absolutely. Thanks for checking in. So ROCD will often try to convince us that we wouldn't feel this way if we were just maybe with a better partner, someone more attractive, someone more intelligent, someone funnier, someone more sensitive, someone who had more similarities to us. Whatever it is, it's going to try to convince us that love is found with the right person. Lisa says, I know this. Love is found with the right person. And it's not just ROCD that tries to convince us of this. It's actually the culture at large. I mean, I've seen this kind of shit in movies and in TV shows. I don't really read love novels, but I imagine it's there. We can hear it just in general in our culture, this subconscious message of the right person, and you have to find the one, find the right person. And maybe you're feeling this way because you haven't found the one yet. Oh man, yes, I compare it with my ex and feels that with him we'd be more compatible, blah, blah, right? ROCD can even be well, maybe that relationship was better. So common. The grass is greener on the other side is basically what's happening. The fear of missing out, the fear of making a mistake, the fear of not having things perfect and the best. And this fuels that fear and that feeling of disconnection in your relationship with your partner. And the thing is if you believe that, if you buy into that, whether it's ROCD telling you or the culture at large telling you, if you believe that if I just find the right person, then love will be easy, or I won't feel fear and anxiety and doubt. If you believe that, I hope you're ready for some realness because I'm just going to give it to you. You're going to just keep jumping from person to person, always wondering if it's the right person. Because you're bringing your same pattern to every relationship. You are an equal member of the relationship. So 50% of the relationship is contributed by you and your patterns. Let's take a moment, sit with that. It's not the person, it's your patterns. And you're going to bring the same patterns to every relationship. And if you're with a safe and caring partner, it's not about them. The fear, the doubt, the anxiety, it's not about them if you're with a safe and caring partner. It's about your patterns. It's about what you're bringing to the relationship. It's about what you're experiencing within your own body, mind that gets brought into the partnership. And the thing is we don't want to take responsibility because it's uncomfortable. So we point our fingers at our partner or at a relationship and say, maybe it would be easier with someone else. Maybe it'd be better with someone else. Maybe I wouldn't feel this way if it was with someone else. So that is the false belief. That's the limiting belief. We get it from our culture. Fear tells us that. Anxiety tells us that. When in reality, love is a skill. There's 11 people with me live. Hi, everybody. Love is a skill. And a lot of us were not taught this skill growing up. I'll be really transparent with you. I witnessed my parents' divorce growing up. Both of my parents have had multiple divorces and multiple marriages. So love was not a skill that I witnessed or learned. And I imagine that a lot of you in this community have similar experiences witnessing pain with love or experiencing your own pain with love. And so if we're not taught the skill of love, if it's not modeled to us, this is something that we actually have to learn to build. And have your moment of anger or frustration. Have that moment of like, what the hell? I have to do the work for what my parents or culture taught me? Great, thanks. Have that moment for yourself. I think we need to have that moment of anger of like, why wasn't I taught this? Why was I continually taught lies about love? Why was I continually taught that love is something that I need to fear? Have that moment of valid anger and then come back to yourself and say, okay, time to take responsibility, time to create the life and the love that I desire instead of perpetuating the false beliefs and painful narratives that I've witnessed and heard. Love is a skill. Love is action. Love and connection don't just happen and then maintain themselves. We believe like, oh, if I'm with the right partner and we have that spark and connection, then it's just going to maintain itself and I won't have to work hard at anything. It will just be easy. And again, that's another false belief that love and connection also maintains itself and that you don't really have to put in any sort of work or inner work or awareness. So we're just debunking bullshit left and right here. Love must be cultivated. Love must be cultivated. Remember, love is not found, it is built. Thanks, Aurora. Love is not found, it is built. So it's not about the person you're with, it's how you love. I'm going to say that again. It's not about the person you're with. It's how you love. How do you love? How do you show up in the relationship? Because you could be with the most perfect person, and if you haven't built this skill within yourself, if you don't know how to love, you're just going to keep seeing the same patterns of fear, anxiety, doubt, disconnection. Because it's not about the person. Every single person is going to have some sort of imperfection. I was talking about this with a client today. Everyone's got a little bit of ugliness. Everyone's got a little dorkiness. Everyone's got a little bit of stupid, right? I can be ugly and messy and dorky and stupid. So it's not about finding someone who's absent of flaws. It's about learning how to love. And so I want to lay the groundwork for you of the 4 main building blocks to cultivate nourishing, luscious love. A love that just feels like a warm robe just like wrapped around you. And I use this analogy because I just bought a brand new robe because we're going to be moving to the mountains somewhere cold. And I'm like, oh, I want a warm, fuzzy robe. And when I put that robe on, it's like fleece. It's got a big hood. It's down to my ankles. It's so fluffy. And when I put that robe on, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just so comfortable. And guess what? It's okay for love to feel comfortable. I think there's another cultural message out there. It's like, you're just staying because you're comfortable. Hell yeah, I'm staying in my robe because it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So when we have these four main building blocks to cultivate this nourishing, luscious love, love begins to feel, your relationship begins to feel, oh, like I can't even put it to words. I just want to do this. Like it becomes this foundation from which you can springboard off of into life. You know you have this solid connection, this solid foundation, something that you can lean on instead of always pushing and pull. Like, oh, I feel so solid and comfortable and confident in this. And because of that, I can be fully present in my life instead of always wondering, like, is this the right person? Oh, I feel disconnected, right? So when we can cultivate and when we can have these four main building blocks, oh, everything changes. Everything changes. All right, are you ready to hear these four building blocks? That robe sounds wonderful. Yes, it is, Petra. And my dog loves it. If I leave it somewhere, she will find the robe and she will sleep on it and she will not let me take it. So it's a great robe. It's a great robe. All right, you guys ready to hear the four main building blocks to cultivating this nourishing, luscious robe of love? Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into it. So the first building block you have, you ready? Is to detox from all of the wounds around love that you experienced. So you really have to be aware, what are my wounds around love? What are the experiences that I've had? What are the beliefs I've been fed? I'm nervous and ready. Perfect place to be. That's the perfect place to be. Nervous and ready. That's the place of growth. You have to first look within and say, what is the shit I've been fed? What is the stuff I've experienced that leads to so much anxiety and fear around love? So the first step really is that internal awareness. Understanding, okay, why is the anxiety there and what purpose does it serve? Because your anxiety serves a purpose. This fear, this doubt, this overthinking, believe it or not, it serves a purpose. Why? What purpose is it serving? Truly understanding that and understanding, being aware of what is getting in the way of love. Because if we just try to keep getting ourselves to love and keep getting ourselves to love without understanding why we keep having so much resistance, we're just going to stay stuck. You've got to really understand, go inward. What is it that makes me so terrified to take the risk of love? What are the experiences I've had? What did I hear about love? So it's like this detoxing of all the gunk that you've been filled with about love and relationships. You got to clear that shit out. A detox, a cleanse. Oh, there's this. Wow, okay, we're aware now. We're aware. I've got to cleanse, I've got to release that stuff. I have to be aware, and I've got to detox. I've got to let that stuff out, cleanse it, remove it, because it's getting in the way. So you got to first remove the stuff that's getting in the way. And the second main building block to cultivating nourishing, luscious love is to come home to yourself. Come home to yourself. All of these wounds that you've experienced and these negative beliefs around love often lead us to look outside of ourselves for love, for reassurance, for validation, for certainty, for safety, for connection. We learn that there's something wrong with us and wrong with love, something unsafe. We feel unsafe. And so we look outside of ourselves. So that second building block is coming home to yourself, coming back home into your body, because those love wounds cause us to go up in our head and live in our mind and seek control. So we've got to come back home to ourselves, back home to our body, and really learn about our own emotions. Because we experience all this fear and anxiety and doubt because we have all of these emotions and we're making all of this meaning around them about what that means about our relationship, all this fear-based meaning making, and we don't know what to do with our emotions. So we often project them onto our partner or give in to them, or we're just filled with urgency of like, I've got to leave, I've got to figure this out. So learning about, how do I come home? How do I navigate these emotions? How do I actually meet myself with understanding and compassion when I experience these emotions because my wounds are getting poked at in this relationship? Any intimate relationship is going to poke at your intimacy and love wounds. So you've got to identify those love wounds, and step 2, understand them, learn how to navigate the triggers, the activation that happens when those wounds get poked at in an intimate relationship, and be able to meet yourself with understanding, know how to navigate, and not be afraid of your own internal experience, but to befriend yourself, befriend your own internal experience. Because then you can show up in your relationship with more understanding, a more groundedness, a more sense of control, instead of anxiety always controlling you. Being able to modulate and regulate that fear that comes up. Yeah. Whew. Let's let that one integrate. Yeah. All right. Building block number 3 to cultivating, nourishing, luscious love is to now see your partner through the lens of love. To see through the lens of love. When we've been wounded by love, and that is, we're unconscious of that. When we learn to live up in our head with that control and we don't know how to navigate our emotions, we see the world through the lens of fear. We see our partner through the lens of fear. So we're always looking for the negative. We're always interpreting everything through this fear-based lens. And that's going to create a lot of conflict. That's going to create more disconnection and perpetuate the cycle of fear. So we have to be able to see through the lens of love. And when we can get all the gunk out, when we can come home to ourselves and our body and meet ourselves with understanding, love, and compassion, when we can meet ourselves with that, we can see our partners then, see the world then through this lens of love instead of fear. We can see our partner for who they really are instead of who fear makes them out to be. Conflict won't send us into this complete spiral if we can see through the lens of love instead of the lens of fear. So you have to be able to see your partner through the lens of love instead of fear. That is huge. That will transform how you communicate. That will transform intimacy. That will transform conflict. That will transform how you see their differences, as when you can see through the lens of love. See them through loving eyes. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. And the 4th building block to cultivating luscious, nourishing love is being able to return to intimacy, to know how to cultivate it, to return to yourself first and return to the intimacy and connection in your relationship, or maybe cultivating it for the very first time. Intimacy, emotional intimacy, sexual intimacy, that is cultivated. And we cultivate this intimacy and this connection through vulnerability. We have to be vulnerable. We have to be willing to be seen. We have to be willing to take the risk of love, to be all in, both feet in, and that's very vulnerable. So that vulnerability paves the way for connection and intimacy. And we also have to create an environment in our relationship in which love, joy, and connection can arise. It's like a garden. We're tending to it. We're cultivating it. We have to cultivate the soil of the relationship so that moments of love, joy, connection, and intimacy can organically arise without all these weeds in the way. Fear is the weeds, and it's blocking the connection, the love, and the joy from uprooting and growing. So we have to know how to cultivate an environment in which all of those things can arise organically. Yes. Creating the environment, being vulnerable so that intimacy and connection can happen. And these are skills. These are skills we must learn. So to summarize, our 4 main building blocks for cultivating nourishing, luscious love is to identify and detox all of these beliefs and painful experiences around love that are blocking your connection. Number 2, coming back home to yourself, knowing how to navigate your own emotional experience instead of being constantly hijacked by them and projecting that onto your partner. Number 3, being able to see through the lens of love instead of fear. Yes, Aurora said, how can I start seeing my partner through the lens of love? Sometimes I feel like I don't even realize I'm seeing him through the lens of fear because it's kind of automatic and sneaky. Yes, this is a process, and I'm going to share with you how we can take you through this process, because it's not like a switch, oh, now I see the world through the lens of love. It is a process. These are the 4 steps, but knowing these steps isn't enough. You've actually got to go through the process. And the final step, or the final building block, is returning to intimacy, knowing how to cultivate intimacy through vulnerability, and create a culture and an environment in a relationship in which love, joy, connection, and intimacy can organically arise. And I love that you asked that, Aurora. Well, how do I do this? Okay, we know this now. Like, we know that these are the building blocks. How do I do this? Ready? Are you ready to know how? Because I'm here to show you. So how you do this, as I always say, it's through the inner work. It's a process. And we have all of these 4 steps. We have created an amazing program called the Luscious Love Immersion. And in this program, this is exactly what you're going to learn to do. This is a brand spanking new program, Luscious Love Immersion, starting next month, which is November. Crazy. We're going to show you the how. We're going to go way more in depth with these 4 steps. I'm going to do a live, probably hour-plus training on each of those steps. This is going to be seriously a powerful, powerful program. It's a 30-day immersion, and it's going to include live, powerful trainings on these 4 steps each week by yours truly. I'm going to be teaching those live in November. You're also going to get each week live group embodiment sessions with me or Sarah, but it's going to help you put this information into practice. This is the how. It's through these sessions that you integrate, that you change these patterns, that you identify the gunk, that you come home to yourself, that you're learning how to navigate your own emotional experiences, that you're learning to see yourself and others through the lens of love, that you're learning how to cultivate intimacy and connection within yourself first. So this is the how. You're also going to get bi-weekly Q&As between me and Sarah. We're going to trade off. So bi-weekly Q&As to answer your questions about what you're learning. Maybe you feel stuck somewhere, and you're going to get the support through the Q&As. And you're also going to get a private Facebook community of those who are in this program doing this work. So I am so freaking excited about this program. this is like the culmination of everything that I have learned about love through this work and through my client work. It's like the culmination of all of it in this incredibly powerful 30-day immersion where you're going to learn the how. You're going to get out of the what and get into the how, because you can know all the things. You can know all the things up here, but it's not going to change how you show up in the relationship until you implement it, until you do the inner work. And we are here to guide you and support you and empower you as you do that inner work. Yes, we're giving you the power back. We're helping you go inward within yourself to finally be able to access love, joy, connection, freedom, inner peace. We're here to guide you and support you as you go inward. The inner work doesn't have to be scary and terrifying. It can be incredibly beautiful and empowering. And that's what we are creating in this program. So again, this is a 30-day immersion. It's each week. And those 30 days is a live training covering one of those 4 building blocks. Also, each week you're going to get a live group embodiment session with Sarah. You can attend live or watch the recording and practice the techniques and the tools that she or I are going to be teaching. You get bi-weekly Q&As with me or Sarah, and you're going to get that private Facebook group community for those who are doing this work alongside of you. And this is really an opportunity to work with us in a really, really powerful way. And it's only $997 USD. Seriously, this program is so powerful. I'm probably going to raise the price very soon, but since it is a brand new program, I wanted to offer it for $997 USD. And you get this price if you sign up by the end of this week. Because again, we start in November. That's the first Monday in November is when I'm doing the first live training to go way more in depth in that first building block. So if you sign up by the end of this week, you get that $997 price. And if you pay in full for the program, you get an extra 2 weeks in the program. So you're getting 6 weeks total. It's crazy. It's insane. Why am I doing that? Blah. You get an extra 2 weeks in the program, plus 2 bonus meditations. I'm really excited about these meditations. They're like a guided inner process. One is an inner child meditation, and one is how to cultivate the process of cultivating self-love so that it overflows into your relationship. And if you sign up this week only, what's today? October 27th. So through the end of this week, you also get access to a 1-hour workshop led by me and Sarah called Life After Anxiety. So only those who sign up this week get access to this additional 1-hour workshop called Life After Anxiety. So holy shit, you get a lot. You're getting a lot, and it's incredibly powerful, transformative. We do the work that we do because we know it works. We know it works, and we see it time and time again, and we're so excited, so passionate. We love doing what we do, and I'm seriously obsessed with the curriculum of this program. I'm obsessed. I'm going to toot my own horn. I'm like, damn, Chelsea, that's good. So you seriously don't want to miss this. And if you want to get in on the Luscious Love program so you can really build that foundation, really embody the building blocks of nourishing luscious love. If you want to get in on this, then book a relationship anxiety assessment with me or Sarah so that we can chat with you and get you signed up, get you one of those spots this week. And we only have 4 spots for relationship anxiety assessments left this week. So don't wait to book. Like that, what did you say, Lisa? Excited and nervous? If you're feeling that, go with the excitement, right? This is a huge opportunity for growth and acceleration and transformation and expansion. Like that's what we're about here at Healing Embodied. We're ready to empower you so that you can take your life back and your relationship back instead of fear constantly like stepping in and being the third wheel of every single decision you make in your life. So we have 4 spots left for relationship anxiety assessments so that you can chat with us to get more details about the program, to see if it's right for you, and to get you signed up. by next week. So I'm going to post the link to book that relationship anxiety assessment in the comments or in the caption, whatever it's called. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Book it. Get one of those last 4 spots that we have for relationship anxiety assessments so that we can get this party started. Like, we're so freaking excited to support you and go on this journey with you. Again, me and Sarah absolutely love what we do, and we love witnessing the transformation and the breakthroughs that happen. So I hope this training was incredibly enlightening, empowering, insightful, and I really, really, really want to empower you to finally take that leap of faith. Finally take that step. Stop sitting on information and knowledge and go into implementation and action. That's what's going to make the change, is taking that leap of faith, taking that risk, even when fear says, oh my God, no, right? Because if you keep listening to that voice, that's the same voice that's perpetuating the fear in your relationship. So you got to kind of make that first decision and say, hell yes, I'm doing this. Even though you're afraid, fear, I know, but I'm going to start moving towards what I want in my life instead of constantly avoiding what I'm afraid of. Move toward what you want instead of avoiding what you're afraid of. Do it scared. Stop waiting for fear to be gone to make a decision. Do it freaking scared. That's how I've made every big decision in my life. I've been terrified. And it's always, always, always been worth it because it builds empowerment within myself and self-trust. So I'm going to post that link. Book. So we can get this party started. All right. Sending you so much love. And until next time, I can't wait to see you freaking rock your freaking relationship, embrace love, and embrace yourself wholeheartedly.